We haven't sailed at daybreak yet. It's like...
We haven't even gotten up at daybreak yet.
I know.
We got the boat sandblasted. I was trying to do it the correct way and preserve as much of the old gel coat as possible. But when I started getting the paint off, I realized the gel coat was already shot. And it was going to be like 16 8-hour days of putting on toxic chemical goop, scraping that off, getting it over my arms, sanding, endless sanding. So I made the call to just have it professionally blasted, and I'm kind of happy with that decision. Now that the paint is off, there are a ton more blisters that I couldn't see before. I thought we had quite a few already, so it's probably twice as many now. So now that the paint is off, we can see all of these little blisters that we could not see before. So in some ways, the problem is worse than I anticipated. On the bright side, it's making me glad that I went ahead and stripped the boat so that we can take care of this problem now and hopefully not have to deal again with it in the future. Deanna is marking all of the blisters with a little X with a Sharpie, so we'll know which ones are freshly drilled out so that we can clean them after I grind them out today, and then we'll be ready to start patching them up. I was kind of kicking myself for not just grinding and filling the blisters we could see and then bottom painting and being done with it, but seeing how bad it actually was underneath is making me think that it was actually the correct decision to go ahead and get it sandblasted. So get the paint stripped off, get the blisters taken care of. So my priority now is to get those filled and faired, and then to do a proper barrier coating job.
Today we came to the boatyard. Our boat is nice and clean. All the paint has been stripped off, and we found all of the leftover blisters that we had. We marked every single one. Niels went through, he drilled a hole in every single one so water can start draining, and then he ground out every single blister. So then we have old blisters that we already took care of, and then we have new blisters that still need to be drying. So old blisters, we're going to start covering those up, but new ones still probably need like a day, maybe two. They're small, they're not big, so they probably won't take too long. And then up here, we're just getting things in order because it's a little bit messy. We need to put another layer of teak on here, teak oil, and polish this up a little bit more. I'm really happy that we're done with the paint stripping. Don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm happy that all blisters are popped. I'm happy that I figured out how to do the teak.
So this is a blister that still needs to dry. Even though I drilled a little hole in there, it has not drained out completely. And if you see me press this, you can hear that crackling. See the screwdriver depress the fiberglass a little bit. That is because this blister was not between the fiberglass and the gel coat, it's actually between the first and second layers of fiberglass laminate. What that means is that I need to grind out that first layer and then glass back in over it. West Marine is what I long for. I am never going to financially recover from this. Before, so the ones that are circled in orange Sharpie are the new ones. It's probably actually the majority. So a few of those still need to dry, but most of them are dry enough for me to be filling. So I've started work on that. Some of the deeper ones I've been patching in with more fiberglass and epoxy. You can see the texture of the glass through there a little bit, and then filling and fairing them out. The shallower ones, here's another one that I glassed in a little bit. Shallower ones just need to be filled or faired ever so lightly. All right, so here's how you glass in a depression from a blister, if you are so unfortunate as to have one deep enough requiring that. So what I've already done is degrease the depression and grind it out with the grinder to create a nice surface for the epoxy that I'm going to be using. Take some acetone on a rag and just wipe that all out. Now I'm going to go over the depression and just paint it with unthickened catalyzed epoxy, just like that. And I've already cut it out. I'm using 3 layers of cloth here. So I'm going to put the first tiny piece of cloth, stick it in like that, and saturate that with more epoxy. When it turns transparent, it is saturated. If it is still white, it is dry. I'm going to take my aluminum roller and roll over that. Try not to move it too much to make sure that there are no air bubbles. Then I take my next piece of fiberglass cloth, which is going to be slightly larger. You're always going to go smallest to largest as you fill in the depression. And I'm going to repeat that exact same process. Now my final piece of cloth. And I'm just wiping some of these runs off with my acetone soaked rag. Once this kicks, we can go ahead, take some thickened epoxy and fair it over. So Deanna is here cutting out these little fiberglass circles for me to patch the blisters, and then I'm putting them on the boat.
So this is what our average evening looks like. Neil gets home from work, we pack everything up immediately, head to the boatyard, and we select between like 5 to 10 blisters, and I begin. My job is to trace the blister and then cut out the plastic and then cut out the fiberglass that will go into each blister. Neil's has a different job. His job is to clean out the blisters and then take my fiberglass and fill them in with using epoxy in between all of those layers. And we're gonna do this every single day for the next couple of days until this whole boat is filled up and all the blisters are gone. So yeah, that's what our average evening looks like.
It is just after 8 a.m. and we are back at the boatyard. Deanna doesn't think she looks good enough for the camera.
Stop.
And we're hoping to get a good solid day in on the boat and make a lot of progress on filling these blisters.